goals of this site are not, commercial production. It's to meet our own needs and really to learn what works and what doesn't. Well, both a learning nursery and a plant nursery. A nursery of ideas and a nursery of actually genetic material to apply to that site, to client sites. I mean, it applies to everywhere. We get lucky enough with the weather enough times that we get a good shiitake yield. In terms of macro, right, we're on the driveway, we're really deep shade. We're in coniferous, that's key, because what happens, when are these most likely to fail due to drying out too much? What time of year can even in a forest really dry out heavily? Early spring, April. Sun's high, and there's no leaves. Full shade, hardcore shade, good water access, really visible. Driveway farming. What is this stuff here? Yep, Jerusalem artichoke or sunchoke. We're at least 3-4 feet up, if not 5 or 6 feet up in fill, i.e. compacted crap. And here is J-choke, raging life, producing all manner of calorie crops for us. There's bedrock there. You guys are all hanging on bedrock. I think at the bottom of this hole I was just hacking on bedrock with the Pickmatic. So the roots have to spread out here. At first I got really depressed when I started reading the nursery catalogs and they're like, plant in well-drained location. Plant this plant in a well-drained, sunny location. In sandy loam or silty loam. But I don't have any of that. It'll be sandy loam in a couple million years. You got to take all that stuff with a grain of salt. You can still grow them on bedrock. It'd be nice to get an honest nursery catalog that's like, prefers well-drained sandy loam, but will grow in crap wetland site, or will grow in a terrible, dry, droughty spot. Wherever you see a tag is a different graft, and that's where different varieties on the tree. So there's Prairie Spy, there's Roxbury Russet, Ashmead's Kernel, there's a whole wide variety on here. That allows us to get not only different harvest times, but different qualities of fruit, right? We want amaranth as a seed crop, right? What's so neat about amaranth? Uber high protein. Amaranth is about the highest protein annual seed / grain crop we can grow. I've heard it's not actually a grain. Well, it's a seed crop. And amaranth really likes it here. And so we should potentially be able to get about 40 pounds of amaranth from this little plot, which isn't very big. It wasn't too much work. And then we're letting this stuff go crazy because this is the most nutritious thing we can grow. And we don't ever plant it. Lamb's quarter. I mean, basically, this is many times more nutritious than most of the greens we cultivate in the garden. It's not quite as palatable right off the bat, but when you get used to it. So that's kind of a really good starting place. I would recommend, if you haven't started to develop your gardens yet, first learn all the wild foods, or at least a lot of them, and start learning how to eat them and what's good about them, what's valuable about them, how to prepare them. Of course, there's a role for cultivated foods, I think, probably, but there's so much food already in the landscape. I kind of laugh at myself now that I started by gardening, by figuring out, okay, what can I grow here? Not realizing, oh wait, what already grows here? What can I already eat here?